Some people told me that I should use one of those narrow jigsaw blades to cut curves with my jigsaw table. So in this video I will try this narrow Wolfcraft jigsaw blade. It alternates one tooth to the right and one tooth to the left. I will also try this cheap jigsaw blade. All teeth are aligned and they aren't inclined to the sides. Finally, I will use this jigsaw blade. I think it is from Bosch, but I am not sure. This blade and the cheap blade are identical, and they are longer than the Wolfcraft blade. But because the teeth in the Wolfcraft blade alternate to the left and to the right, it will cut a wider curve. These blades won't reach the bearing of the guide that keeps the blade vertical, so I remove it. With the blade I usually use, I can cut some curves. For example, I can round some corners. I can also cut some curves, but I cannot cut tight curves. And after I use it, the blade isn't very hot. Now I will try the Wolfcraft jigsaw blade. These blades are so short that when they are in their lowest position, the tip of the blade is under the plywood surface. But even so, I can cut with them. There is no problem to cut a not very tight curve. So far, it looks like it cuts quite well. Now I will try the chip blade. It is longer than the other, and it will cut a narrower curve. With this blade I feel like it is more difficult to cut tight curves, so I will try to cut a very tight curve. And we can see how the wood burns. We can even see some smoke. There we can see it better. When I try to cut a very tight curve, the blade wraps the wood. It overheats and it burns the wood. The truth is that it scares me when I see the smoke. It looks like if it will begin to go up in flames. When I finished the cut, the piece jumped. When it is in its lowest position, the tip of this blade is also under the plywood surface, so when I finish the cut, the tip of the blade sometimes hits under the workpiece, so it jumps. Now I will try the third jigsaw blade. And it hits under my workpiece. At first I thought I didn't press the workpiece, but when I press it harder, the blade still hits under the workpiece. Apart from that, this blade cuts like the cheap one. Maybe it makes a cleaner cut. When I try to cut a very tight curve, it burns the wood, and we can see the smoke. We cannot see this in the chip blade, because it is black, but with this blade we can see those typical blue colors that appear after we overheat a piece of metal. The Wolfcraft blade cuts a wider curve, and maybe that is why it didn't burn the wood. So I will use it again, and I will try to cut a very tight curve. And there it is. We can also see the smoke when it burns the wood. I will make some straight cuts to compare them. This one with the Wolfcraft blade. This with the chip blade. And this with the one that I think is a boss blade. There we can see that the Wolfcraft blade cuts the wider curve. The chip blade cut and the cut with the other blade are both the same width. But I don't know why this blade hits under the workpiece. There we can see the dents it did when I tried this blade for the first time in this video. And we can see how the dents in this cut and the dents in the straight cuts are all in the same side. Both blades are exactly identical, and I don't see if there is any difference or if they are bent, so I don't know why one blade hits under the wood and the other blade doesn't. My conclusion is that I can use these blades to cut some curves, but I cannot cut very tight curves, because they burn the wood and something could go up in flames, and I think I cannot use them to cut something thicker than that piece of plywood. Thanks for watching. You can find all my woodworking videos in my channel in YouTube. And if you like my videos, thanks for subscribing to my channel.